What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Q&A. Q&A 10. I apologize. I'm gonna apologize. I know that, people have been waiting for this a long time. I know a lot of people have been like, where's the Q&A coming out? Because people have been asking me a bunch of questions, and I just been want to make sure I write them all down, and, I want to make sure that I get a bunch of questions answered so that, if you guys got anything new or fresh, that way I'm ready for like 11. But we're on 10 now. I'm excited. I'm happy that we're on 10. I can't believe we're on 10 now. It was the Q&A thing was one of those things where I kind of forced it. Like, I kind of wanted it to be one of those things that I wanted to have more and more different types of content on my channel. So this is one of those ideas that I was throwing out there. I was like, okay, what if I bring out like a Q&A type of thing, and then it kind of caught on, and people started asking me more questions, and then it became a series, little thing I do. So really happy about this. This is number 10, so I thought I'd, say thank you guys for, all the questions, so I thought I'd give a little back in this video. So anyway, guys, let's get into this Q&A video. We got a lot of questions from a lot of different people. Obviously, we got questions from Zaid, of course, and then we got questions from Joseph Wilson, K&Z Vlogs, and I believe there was one more. It was actually a recently new one, a new subscriber. It was DabIsCringy, RB. I love that name, because dabbing is cringe. Yeah, but let's get into this. This was really exciting to put together and to make. So, let's start with Joseph Wilson's question, which is, who would win in a fight, Superman or Hulk? Now, I did watch some people do some videos about these characters, and I've even seen people make videos about these two fighting, and honestly, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, who's limitless? Because both of these characters are technically limitless. They can go beyond any imaginable amount of power. Like, these two are able to get up to untallied amount of strength. Like, they can go off the charts. It's incredible. I've seen people go back and forth about Superman would win or Hulk would win. I look at it from power perspective, and I look at from, because I look at it like this. Okay, let's say we juice up both Superman and Hulk, so both of them are at about the same level, and, like, for example, Superman Prime. Superman Prime is basically like the most OP character ever in the DC. The most OP Superman ever, because he's basically like Batman and Superman combined. He looks for your weakness and he exploits it. Obviously, this is a completely different Superman, but again, this is the most OP Superman ever, combined with all of his powers plus extra. So this guy is crazy. But then you also have Hulk. And you have, of course, World Breaker Hulk, where literally one single step shook Las Vegas. Like caused earthquakes. It was amazing. So, I think about that, and it's like, but remember, if you remember that comic, a good blast from Iron Man's machine took World Breaker Hulk out. So, I'm gonna give it to Superman. Even if you lowered their powers and you were just talking to me about like regular Superman versus regular Hulk, I think Superman would win. I think that he would have enough brains to take him down, because yes, brawn can beat brain, but it just depends. It just really depends. But I'm gonna give it to the brain. I'm gonna give it to Superman. So yeah. That's just what I think. And I'm wearing the shirt, so I have to say Superman. Okay, so let's go to K&Z Vlogs, who asks, who will win in a fight, a lot of these questions, a lot of these types of questions. Who would win in a fight? Thor or Hulk? I'm going to say Hulk. If you watch Hulk versus Thor, I think you'd understand a little bit why. Because if Hulk really went out and just wanted to wreck Thor up, then Hulk would win. We've seen them fight a lot lately. I'm going to say Hulk. I'm going to say Hulk would win that fight. He would win that fight. He would have to win that fight. He is the strongest hero in the Marvel Universe. And, you know I said Superman would beat Hulk, but again, there are a lot of variables there. Plus, they're just from two different companies. But Thor and Hulk, these two have gone at it before. And Hulk usually is the one who comes out on top if there are no restraints, meaning like Thor has to win the fight because so-and-so or whatever. But if we're talking about a straight-up fight, Hulk's going to win. All right, so let's move on to some different questions, and these questions are going to start from Zaid, and then we got we've got one more special question at the end, which is going to be another fighting one, but I thought I'd save it for last. Or you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll do it. I'll go ahead and do it. So, DabIsCringy RB asks, who would win in a fight? Cosmic Spider-Man or Superman? This is a really good question. I honestly did not know at first. I saw someone talk about Cosmic Spider-Man a little bit more in depth. And I know Cosmic Spider-Man is OP, right? He's OP as hell. And I know Superman is OP as hell. And there was this one thing that I heard that made me think, okay, Spider-Man's gonna win. Here's why. Apparently, Cosmic Spider-Man could survive being in a black hole. He'd be completely okay. And he can shape matter and stuff and all this crazy different types of power. He can fly, he can shoot lasers out, he can manipulate matter. It's crazy. He's basically like godlike. He's Spider God. So, Cosmic Spider-Man. And I know I'm wearing the Superman shirt, but I'm man enough to admit when I'm like, yeah, I think Spider-Man is gonna get him in this regard. Just because of the simple fact, I don't know if Superman could survive being in a black hole. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. But I'm gonna give it to Cosmic Spidey. Batman or who would win in a fight? Batman or Black Panther? Batman has fought cat-like characters before. Black Panther, he's a really good fighter. Batman, on the other hand, knows pretty much every single type of combat style of hand-to-hand ever. So, comparing that to Wakanda Black Panther, it's not even really a fight. I mean, Batman not only is so good at martial arts, he has his tech and gadgets. He's gonna be able to outsmart Black Panther. Even if he doesn't have to, I mean, obviously, I can see Batman just using a gadget or something that'll stop Black Panther. But if we're talking about hand to hand, like if they have to go hand to hand, Batman, I believe, is gonna win. He knows pretty much every single type of fighting style, and I believe he would win. He's fought the most skilled hand to hand combat villains ever, and he's always won and come up on top. So I'm gonna give it to Batman. Okay, let's get away from those questions and actually get to some other questions. And these are all from Zaid. If you guys have questions, go ahead and ask them. Specifically, I want them in these types of videos, like Q&A videos. I want the questions to usually be in the Q&A videos, just solely because of the fact that I can keep track of, when people are just asking me a simple question that they just want answered immediately, when they're asking me in like a video of me talking about Spider-Man, for example. But if it's like a Q&A video and you guys, if you ask me a question, expect it to be in the next video. So that's hopefully that explains everything. So let's get into this with best Mortal Kombat fatality and why. So this was really hard. I'm going to say this right now. A lot of these questions, another reason why it took me so long to do this video was because these questions were really, really hard to come up with an answer for. This one in particular, I didn't want to go back and look at every single Mortal Kombat fatality ever, right? I didn't want to do that. So what I did was I looked at 9 and I looked at 10 of Mortal Kombat. And I come to the conclusion, now I know people are going to have different opinions. Of course, people have different opinions about what the best fatality is in Mortal Kombat. The best fatality for me would probably be Melina's, where she jumps up and then she starts ripping the guy in half. And then the other character is so scared they just like try to crawl away and they realize like half of them's like gone by then and they just die. And then she's just eating their guts and stuff. It's great. I would have said Ermax, the one where he twists you around and then pulls your guts out through your mouth. Ugh, it's even disgusting for me to like even say. The first time I saw that fatality, I actually felt sick. Like, that's probably the most grossing fatality I've ever seen in a Mortal Kombat game. Like really. And I played a lot of video games and watched a lot of movies. This is like, wow, this is brutal as hell. But I would say Melina's just solely on the fact of how savage she is, the way she rips apart the opponent. So yeah, that's what I think is the best Mortal Kombat fatality so far. There could, Mortal Kombat 11, we didn't get it announced, but probably might get it maybe next year or something. I don't know. We'll see. Which Spider-Man villain would make an awesome roommate and why? Honestly, this one's no-brainer. It's going to be Venom because Venom is like, if I was to think of Venom, like kind of like a little bit like Flash Thompson in the regards of he just picks on him to make fun of him and stuff, But, I feel like Venom would kind of go the extra mile with some things, but make them a little bit more funny and embarrassing and humiliating for Spidey. But the banter between those two would just be awesome too. I mean, these two obviously have great chemistry because a lot of people consider Venom his arch enemy, and I do too. But, over the years, there have been a lot of villains who have been able to top Spidey, and Venom, again, has always been the main villain because he can avoid his spider sense and stuff like that. So he's really, really formidable opponent for Spidey. But as a roommate, man, that would that'd be like a comedy show right there. That has to be one of these days, or a little snippet or something. I don't know. Okay, so let's move on to, if you had Spider-Man's web shooters, what would you use them for? To be lazy, for one, so I can just web over a little can of Coke and get my drink on. But to be realistic, I probably just want to find buildings and swing, man. Like, it's probably the best part about being Spider-Man, honestly, is just swinging from building to building. I debate with my brother all the time about the science of him web slinging, and it's like he would break his arms or whatever. It's a comic book, and he's got super strength, so fuck off, So, but yeah, like, I want to web sling, man. I want to go out and web sling and have fun. Like, that just sounds like fun, Like, it sounds great. And then, like, see some villains, I can web them up on a damn pole and have some fun with them. Like, it's great. I'd have a great time. Alright then, let's move on. So, what is the best self-defense strategy for fighting? I think this is one of these questions I wasn't able to really come up with an answer for. Okay, so how do I start this off with? I have never been in a fight before. I have never been in a fight before, personally. I have never fought anybody hand to hand. I have wrestled. I was a wrestler in junior year as a high school student. I one time got thrown on the ground on the cement for talking some shit because I live in Milwaukee. So I got a little taste of reality there, and that was a really traumatic experience, but it taught me a lot. The best self-defense strategy. The best self-defense strategy. Keep your hands up. I don't know. Just don't let them punch you in the face. Protect your balls. I don't know. I've seen a few videos of some people showing some different types of moves of self-defense techniques. Keep your hands up. That's the best, honestly, is the best from me to you, viewer, is the best strategy I can give you. Besides that, when it comes to fighting someone, I would imagine that wait for them to make a mistake, and then that's when you go in. Because all it takes is one mistake. And then the fight can be a win or a loss. Because that's just how it is. It's just how it is. It's all about waiting for your opponent to make the wrong mistake, and then their ass is chewed. That's that easy. But yeah, that's really all I can give to that. So let's move on to, if all Red Rangers were in a fight against each other, who will win and why? So this is honestly, look, this is no brainer, okay? You got the last two, you know who the last two are going to be. It's going to be Jason Scott and Tommy Oliver. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be Zeo Ranger versus Mighty Morphin. We know who's going to win, all right? At least I do. Look, Tommy is a good fighter. He's a great fighter. But Jason has beat him a few times. I believe Jason's going to win because Jason has that aggression to push through. Usually there have been episodes where they have just reached stalemates with each other. They're usually the two best ones. They're the neck and neck ones. I believe Jason would have a little bit more of an advantage with his aggression. You could say that's also a weakness, but I think if he uses it right, he could use it as a weapon. So that's my answer. I think Jason Scott would win. He would win. Best MCU movie so far. That's a very good question. Because you guys on the channel know I'm not too fond of the MCU lately as a whole. I do like some of their movies though. I really do like a few. They do have moments of great movies, right? I believe Doctor Strange is probably their best movie so far. Now, the reason why is because I love the way it ended. I love the way, spoilers if you didn't see the movie. I love the way it ended, how he uses his brain. He uses his brain to beat him. It doesn't end in a fight. And that's what I think I love about it so much, is that he didn't use his brain. He kept losing and losing and losing till he eventually won. And that's, I think, is a great lesson to a lot of people, is that, yeah, you can lose like 50 times, but you're going to win that one. And that one is going to be triumphant. It's going to be amazing. So that's why I think Doctor Strange is my favorite one, because it really, got out of the comfort zone of always being this comedic MCU type of movie, and it did be more than just your typical MCU movie. It did go out of its way to be a great movie, and that's what I love about it so much. Okay, so best DC movie so far. Now, I'm guessing what you mean is the DCEU, as a lot of people like to call it. I just call it a DC movie universe or whatever. I don't really look at it as a universe. I just look at it as DC movies. I'm guessing that you mean the recent ones, meaning Man of Steel through, what's the last one they had? Justice League? There were two movies that I was debating between. It was Man of Steel and... No, it was actually three. It was Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, and Batman v Superman. The reason why I'm not giving it to Wonder Woman is because the ending, I feel like, wrecked it. The movie was started out great. The middle was great. I felt it was a little too Captain America. The ending didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. She goes from killing a bunch of Nazis to I believe in love. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I got so confused at the end. I literally, like, broke out of reality and was like, what the fuck did she just say? Like, I just got so confused. Man of Steel, I can't really give it points for either because he just straight up kills Zod, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. Sometimes I think it was a good thing. Sometimes I think that it was a bad thing. Yeah, I go back and forth with that. Batman v Superman, though. Batman v Superman. I know a lot of people don't like Batman v Superman. I actually went back and forth with Batman v Superman. I ended up at first, when I first walked out of the theater, I hated that movie. I hated it. But then, like a year or two later, I liked it. I started to like it. It grew on me, and it became my favorite DC movie. Or DCEU, I should say, because there are a lot of DC movies, obviously, but, you know, this one, top notch, man, top notch. Obviously, I don't like that Batman kills in it, but I understand what Zack Snyder was trying to do with, you know, Batman being the more darker villain or hero, and then Superman being the more brighter hero. So, I don't know, it's up in the air, but I don't know. That's just me, though. If you were to ask me what my favorite DC movie, I would probably say Superman. You know, the Christopher Reeve Superman. But yeah, that's just me. Which video game series should be made into movies? I have told you guys this. Listen, I'm telling you. A lot of people did not like The Evil Within. The Evil Within 1, right? People didn't like The Evil Within 1 that much. The Evil Within 2 came out. People liked it. I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm telling you, you could have so much creativity and fun with a movie of The Evil Within. I'm telling you, the concept is great. The concept, come on, think about the concept. You're stuck inside someone's brain. You can't physically move. You're in this killer's brain. They have all the power in the world. You know, like, it would be such a cool movie. I'm telling you, this movie would be great. If they did it, I would fucking direct it. I'll direct it. I'll write the script. I'll do like, The Evil Within should be a movie. I'm telling you, it would be a great movie. A great mixture of American horror with Japanese type horror. It would be the clash of amazing ideas. I'm telling you, it'd be great. It would be great. Come on, guys, do it. It'd be a great idea. I'm telling you. All right. Let's move on. Which animal will you be for a whole year? This was another one of those questions that kind of stumped me. Because I thought, maybe I want to be a little cute koala bear. Or maybe I want to be a rhino. Or a wolf. Or a gorilla. But I ultimately ended up with a lion. I want to be a lion. I feel like lions are really old school, and they still are. And I think that it would be really cool to experience, you know, being that alpha and going hunt, getting your own food, and being a man lion or whatever. I think that it would be a learning experience, kinda too. Like, it would be kind of interesting. I think that it would be really cool. Like, I would want to see what that would be like. All right, so this is the last question. I want to thank you guys for watching. Before I get to this last question, if you stuck around this long. Would you rather have Venom's symbiote, Green Goblin's battle glider, or Doc Ock's tentacles? Why? I think I have an answer, yeah. Doc Ock's tentacles. The reason why is because when I was a little kid and Spider-Man 2 came out, I always played with my hands like the claws in the movie because I thought they were freaky and they were cool. And they seemed helpful, to have, 4 extra arms. And I make jokes a lot when I bring in groceries or whatever about how, I wish I had 4 arms to carry so many things. The symbiote would be cool, but it's, I don't know, it's just, I feel violated with that suit on, because it's all over you, it's all over you. The glider would be cool, but I feel I would be afraid of slipping off the thing. I like the Doc Ock tentacles more. I think those would be kind of cool. Those would be kind of cool and helpful, and laid back and kind of relax with those arms. It'd be great. I like it. I would like it. So this was a long Q&A, longer than I expected. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for supporting these Q&A type videos. I really appreciate it, and thank you guys for watching again. And it really means a lot to me. And I guess that's it. There's nothing more to really say. So thank you guys for watching. And I'm out of here. Up, and away. See you guys.